Welcome back to Breakfast. Use drugs, lose your benefit. That was the basis of a new welfare policy confirmed by John Key on Breakfast yesterday. The idea to allow employers to drug test a beneficiary seeking a job with them. Well, we've had a lot of feedback on this. Here's a sample of your comments on Facebook this morning. Clint Green saying the policy is driven by populist theory, which would suggest all beneficiaries are drugged up layabouts. It's also driven by an attitude that those who receive benefits are getting my hard-earned money by way of taxes. Personally, I can't see any gains. And from Lauren Krieger, if I have to be drug tested by a possible employer before being given a position, then why shouldn't they be tested too? Well, the Social Development Minister, Paula Bennett, joins us now. Good morning, Minister. So the PM explained to us yesterday this isn't intended to target addicts. It's about recreational users. You've also given an assurance that if a 20-year-old has a puff on a Saturday night and gets caught on a Monday in a drug test, they won't necessarily be cut off without any support.
Yes, that's right. So our expectation would be that if we saw them on the Monday and we said, look, we want to put you forward for this job at the freezing works or in forestry or in one of those many companies that drug test, and they said, look, I won't pass the drug test, then we would say to them, OK, you've got a chance to go away, come back, and we expect you to be able to pass a drug test at that point, and if you don't, then there will be repercussions.
Now, other schemes have been tried overseas, not with great results. The reason given often is that it's very difficult to implement, and it also would cost quite a lot. So why would this work here?
Yeah, well, the costs are not as high as overseas, and in many cases it's the company themselves that are paying for the drug test. So we have said that we'd probably reimburse a company if the drug test came back positive. But at the quotes I've been seeing is anywhere between sort of $70 and $100 for a test. So we don't see that as being exorbitant and something that's means it's not worthwhile doing. Yes, it's complicated. These things are not easy, but equally, I think seeing particularly younger people on benefit for long periods of time, and in some areas where the only kind of work they can take up is where we've got big companies in some small towns and they won't pass a drug test. I think we've got an obligation to be doing something alongside of them to get them work ready.
What sort of feedback have you had from employers, given the fact that much of this cost would be put on them?
Oh, I've got hurry up, and it's great you're talking about it. We'd like it implemented tomorrow, please. We've been asking for it for some time. Get on with it, really, is the word I'm getting constantly from employers. Now, they're taking the cost anyway, so they don't see this as an additional cost to them. What they desperately need is the workers, and workers that are, available, wanting to be there, clean of drugs and able to get on with the job. So they're saying, it brasses them off when they see people sitting on the benefit, unable to get into work when really they could be if they would just sort of stay clean for the weekend.
Now, if welfare numbers come down, does it concern you also that the numbers of people possibly in work may not increase proportionately as a result of this policy?
Look, I just want to see more people in work, so that's the upshot of it. And, I mean, if that means that we've got more employed and we've got more people out there then in jobs, then I think that's the way. I'm sorry, is that what you're sort of asking?
Yeah, well, I want to know what the real incentive here is, because you've made commitments, formidable commitments to reduce targets, to reduce the number of people on long-term job seeker benefits by 30-odd%. So I'm saying, is the main incentive here to see the welfare numbers come down, or to see the numbers of people in work increase? Because it may have the detrimental effect.
Yeah, I'd say a bit of both, to be quite honest with you. But particularly in some smaller towns, and there is towns up in Northland where, I've got they don't have enough workers in forestry, and the reason is that these guys can't get jobs. So, and they have been on for 12 months or more. So, yeah, I have an absolute commitment to bringing down those that are long-term on benefits, and I see this as one small tool towards helping us get there. But the lost opportunity, Rawdon, is huge. You see these kids, and they sort of go, and once they do get into jobs and get clean, they sort of say, wow, my life is off. I was bored, I was unmotivated, I was actually starting to smoke dope more. This has given me, hope. They're good jobs, they're good paying jobs a lot of the time. They've got career opportunities. If I can get them into that, then that's my biggest motivation in a day.
Now, we've had a huge amount of feedback supporting this, saying it's a massively positive policy direction. We have also, though, had the feedback which says, from yesterday, particularly some viewers, saying it's going too far with welfare reforms. It's effectively, again, making moral judgments on people. Have they got a point?
Well, I actually think that, the thousands of New Zealanders that are in work every day, there's an expectation that they're actually not stoned at work, if you like, to put it mildly. And there's an expectation on them. So why shouldn't there be an expectation on those that should be actively looking for work? And I certainly, my hometown originally was Taupo. We had, a lot of the guys out there in those sorts of jobs. There's an expectation that they stay clean. Why shouldn't there be one for beneficiaries? And I think that actually if you are in a work-tested benefit, which means you're up and able to be ready for work, then I think that's a reasonable expectation.
OK, thank you very much, Minister Paula Bennett.